up? My name is Ocean, and I am going to be doing the lesson 10 discussion questions, the two prompts. The first question says, discuss a misunderstanding you have had with a friend or work colleague and how you went about clearing up the misunderstanding. Did the channel of communication that you chose to convey the message contribute to the misunderstanding? Did you correct the misunderstanding using the same channel of communication you used, or switch to a different channel to address the misunderstanding? Explain your answer. So I'm not sure if we have to use something that has to do with technology, but I'm just going to talk about the example that came to my mind when I heard the question. One time I was a hostess / cashier, and I was seating this lady, and she asked if she could sit at the only booth we had, and it was not clean yet. I was waiting for the busser to clean it, so I asked her, you can sit at the bar, and then I can seat you there as soon as it's clean. And she was very polite, and she said, okay, that's fine. And by the time it was clean, I went to go walk over to tell her to sit down, and a server came right behind me and sat somebody else right there. And I just kind of looked at this lady like, like what? Like, I don't, and she was like upset, and she was like, isn't this your job to seat people, like, and I really didn't know what to do or say. Like, I can't have these people move after they already sat down. That's always what my manager says. So, I went to first I went to the server and I said, listen, can you please let me know before you seat people? Because sometimes there's reservations and sometimes there's people waiting for tables to be cleared off. And she just said, no, you need to come tell me if you have somebody waiting for a table. And I just thought that was ridiculous. I didn't say anything after that. I just kind of walked away. And then I went to go tell my manager what happened. And he went to go talk to her or something. I don't know. He just came to me later and said, basically, nobody did anything wrong. I don't think that was appropriate of him. Or her. I think they both should have taken responsibility. She should have taken responsibility, and he should have told her what was wrong, because it is a hostess's job to sit people and to look at the reservations and decide who's sitting where. That's really clearly like their only and biggest job. So it was just kind of making it hard for me to do my job and making me look kind of ridiculous, and the manager didn't even have my back. I just feel like he should have told her, listen, that's the hostess's job. You need to ask her before seating people. It's not a big deal. It's, a simple thing to tell somebody. I don't think that would have been ridiculous. I don't understand why he said nobody did anything wrong when clearly somebody did something wrong. Because she's a server. Her job is to serve people, not to sit people. She should have checked with me first. So that was just kind of like a red flag for me at that job. And I just feel like he was more concerned with being friends with her or being liked instead of being a boss, being a manager and managing people. And I just didn't like that. It made it very uncomfortable for me and this other poor lady that was waiting for the table. And she also had her son with her, and he was very excited to sit at the booth, and it was just very uncomfortable, and I just really didn't like it. And I did eventually leave that job. But, yeah. So there was no other channel of communication. It was just face-to-face talking. But, yeah, there was never really addressing the misunderstanding. I did address the misunderstanding, but I don't think it was ever fixed. I just think it kind of just was an uncomfortable situation, and yeah. And the second question is, to what extent have technological advances, smartphones, laptops, tablet devices, made it easier to communicate effectively in organizations? To what extent have these advances made miscommunications more likely? Explain your answer. So, I do think that technology can be helpful. Like, there's apps now that where you can communicate with your colleagues and ask them to take your shifts or let them know if you're not coming, or, change your availability. I think that's very helpful. And it also reminds you when your shift's coming up. But it also can be confusing because, like, there was a time when I was sick and I wrote a message to my manager, and I guess I forgot to hit send. I feel like we've all been there before, but in this situation, it can be kind of serious. And yeah, I did. I forgot to send the message, and I just feel like, it's my fault, and I just feel bad, but it happened, and technology can be confusing, and things happen, and yeah, that was definitely not a good situation for me, and I feel bad because by the time I went to go send it, it kind of was, it's kind of too late, and I still sent it, but I didn't get a response. So, yeah, I do feel like technology can make communication more, can make things misunderstood, miscommunications are more likely. I do feel like that. So, it's my opinion. Thank you for watching.